Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Darling.
It's Amy and Lockie.
Or Lachlan and Amy.
The
but
shepherds.
The stewards. Oh yeah, I've got to say something.
What?
I feel very underdressed for this episode.
You are.
I'm looking at you, and you look incredible.
Silk.
Ooh, even got the bottom buttons undone. That seems to be a bit of a fashion statement these days.
Yeah, just like a bit of flow, you know.
And
I've just got like a bias cut skirt on because we're going to the night markets tonight at the Brisbane Powerhouse.
It looks so cool. We've run through it and walked through it a number of times, and I just keep walking past there. There was like this, it just smelled amazing. It was all the meat on a rotisserie. I can't even remember the name. I'm very tired, but I was running past it, I think, last Tuesday, and I said to Liam, we got to do that this Sunday. And then when I went past there this morning, I was like, it's Sunday. I went, hey Siri, message Amy Shepherd. Whoop, my Siri's doing that now. And tell her we're going to the night market. And here we are.
We're going. So
Yes.
I'm ready. And what are you wearing?
Well, I've been laying in front of the couch for the last couple of hours because I'm tired. Yeah. And I pulled out of my cupboard a shirt from your brother, George's Bucks Party.
That is a terrible
And if you
photo.
look on Patreon or YouTube, I'm wearing...
You look so squashed.
Because we found the most ridiculous image and we compressed it just to make it funnier. But I did get it signed because I was best and fairest on the day.
Thanks for being a dickhead.
Yeah.
George.
Yeah. So I got it signed and I'm proud of that. But now sitting next to you, I realise how terrible I look.
Well, you're going to get changed after this.
For sure.
So where you look.
For sure.
You got to look
should
apart for
look,
the night markets.
Definitely need to look better. How are you today?
I'm wrecked. We've been on tour. Last night we played Kingscliff. The night before that it was Sunshine Coast. And the shows were huge and epic, but long drive back because we drove back to Brisbane each night.
Yeah, so what's that like? I think it was hour 15, hour 20 north to Sunshine Coast.
Yeah, so both nights were like after like 1am.
Yeah, 1am and get cranking. Oh, I tell you what.
So today was just like, it all caught up with us and we pretty much, apart from Lockie running.
I ran. I had a 3-hour run, but I'm very grateful that I did it today, not yesterday. Had I done that yesterday and then had to do
You'd have been
the
cool.
show, I would have been, and today I would have been a shambles, like done skis.
Jeez, I don't know how you did it because I woke up at like 9:45. Best sleep
I was
I've had in
waiting
a
for
long
my
time.
message. Like the first 2 hours of my run, normally I get a morning message and I'm like, bloody hell, lunch is coming out and I still haven't got my message.
Yeah, so I rolled out of bed and I just like felt like a zombie. So I didn't even like really pick up my phone, but
Did you think of me? At least?
Of course. And I was like, oh, he's running, I don't want to distract him.
Bullshit.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
But I pretty much came downstairs and was like, I need to make myself a tea and some breakfast before I can function.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, and then we just kind of sat around all day watching telly.
Yeah, I know.
I just think, and we all did that, and I think...
Well, because we're back
we
on the
needed
road
it.
tomorrow, so it's. I felt like this week we're going into Hell Week.
I don't know if I would call it Hell
I'm
Week.
calling it Hell Week. The only reason why I'm calling it Hell Week is because of the schedule.
Yeah.
Right, so tomorrow morning we fly to Perth.
It's a 5-hour flight.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this leg of the trip, which I'm excited about personally, aside from the shows, is in Perth I'm catching up with a guy I had on my podcast who's an ex-AFL player. We're going to hit a run and a training session, which
When are
I'm
you doing
pumped
that?
about. Tuesday morning.
Oh, yeah.
And then in Melbourne, I'm on another another 2 podcasts talking about my running as well, which is going to be awesome. And Melbourne's good fun. We're there for 3 days, which will be awesome. So, in Adelaide, we're just zipping in, zipping out sort of thing. It's very, very quick.
Yeah, well, even Perth, we're only there for 2 days.
Yeah.
So...
But it's a lot of
because
travel.
I would have loved to have gone to Cottesloe and like gone for a beach walk and
To be fair, I'm just pretty keen to stay in Brisbane, and just relax.
Yeah, we haven't done that for a while, but anyway, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
We're having a lot of fun on the tour, as exhausting as it is.
It is fun meeting
the
people.
Show, yeah, meeting all the people and the Shepherd fans, and the show is just like lots of energy.
I've been getting some good shots too, haven't I?
Yeah. Did you get any last night? It was a bit hard.
Last night was tough. Like, as a photographer now, there are some shows where it's set up and you have like this barrier, which is maybe a metre, sometimes a bit more, between the stage and the crowd.
Yeah,
and
it's called a photo pit.
Is that what it's actually called? Mm-hmm. And they didn't have one for a photographer last night.
No.
Oh, spewing. So, and obviously, probably every episode of this, and also after every show, we're like, okay, we're investing in this new lens. It's a 24-70. If anyone from Canon out there is listening and you want to just sponsor us for it, hit us with the lens. But the 24-70, and then we're like, yep, we're going to do it. It's going to get the shots in, and then we forget about it.
Mm.
And I've been saying this for probably 18 months.
You have.
And Liam was like, the other day on the run I was talking about, he's like, just freaking buy it. It's not like it's an impulse buy because you haven't shut up about it. And I was like, should I stop talking about it?
It's like over $2,000.
Yeah. But it's
not like
significantly better. Because, for example, last night, without having a photographer's pit, like, honestly, if you can have photographers, have a photographer pit.
Jeez, we should have gone and done that today.
Yeah, we should have. But, yeah, we should have because this is Hell Week. But yeah, I didn't have the zoom to be able to get some great shots, and the light, it was pretty compressed. That smoke machine was something chronic.
It was a lot of, I kept coughing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I'm choking.
At one point I put the fan on its back so it would stop blowing up at you guys, because I was like, what is going on? This is a hardcore smoke machine. It's like someone
I think maybe it was just a small stage, and it was probably like a really professional, I don't know whether Jesse, our lighting guy, bought it, and it's, you know, he's a professional dude, so he would have bought like the best one, and maybe it was too strong for a smaller stage.
But surely you would assume it would have settings where you can knock it down a few volumes.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
Anyway, it was like watching a car at a drag race just going...
Like, it was cool for the opening.
Yeah, but then the rest of it, you're like, sometimes you could see you guys, sometimes not. And like sometimes I could see the crowd, sometimes not. But anyway, that was fun.
Yeah.
I got to meet some cool fans as well. Like, it's always interesting. You guys are very active in the flock, which is the Shepherd group. I'm not so much. I actually left the chat just because sorry guys, it buzzes too much for me, like throughout the day, and it gets in the way of, it gets distracting for my work messages, etc. But then, like, yesterday I had people coming up, it's like, hey, I'll give Brian a shout out because he listens. Brian comes up and he's like, man, it's Brian B67 from Facebook. I'm like, hey man, like, but I don't, like, because I don't pay too much attention in there, I don't know people, so it's actually nice to
put a face
to the handle, you know what I mean? So that's always nice.
Yeah. And that's nice for us as well, because sometimes we do meet people and then you can't really remember who they are online, and so yeah, it's just like a nice connection. And actually meet fans face to face.
And I do feel bad like, I know I shouldn't feel bad, and you probably feel the same way. And I know all of us do, actually, because Emma vlogs it, then George is vlogging it, so we're all very active on social media, so people can follow along, and for those who do follow along, know a lot about our life. So then when you're talking to them, it's like, how do you know so much about us? And then you feel bad because, you know, I haven't even found these people on social media or anything like that, so it's interesting. I find that interesting.
Yeah, but it's great that we're starting to build more of a connection with our fans.
Yeah.
Especially that VIP experience. And
yeah.
I don't know about you, but I have to meet people like a couple of times before I really lock in who they are with their Instagram account or their online presence. Like,
that's where, like, tagging is fun. Like, if you tag
and sometimes people just look different on their Instagram pages to when you see them in real life.
Are you saying catfishing?
I've been catfished by fans.
Yeah, catfishing.
No, but I mean, whether they post, like, some people just post cats, or it's one photo
or
of
like
them
flowers
from, like, ages ago,
and their profile picture's like a dandelion.
Yeah.
Which
is fair enough. Like, some people don't want to be on. They want to be online, but they don't really want to post themselves.
Yeah, but if you want to interact, I think you got to put your face in the game, put some skin in the game, so to speak.
It's nice because you can recognise who's who.
Yeah, I've never been one to talk to flowers, so it's like change your pick for sure. I think that's the cool thing. Another cool thing that I actually just came to my attention was I got the new iPhone last week, and the action button. Dun, dun, dun. I didn't think it was cool because I had it set up for notes, because I always take notes. And then this morning I was playing around, George was texting me about this update, so then I did the update, and then I just went down
the update?
Just for the beta, for the AI.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. And I went down the rabbit hole, and then I was like, maybe if I put Jats and crackers as ChatGPT, which is now helpful because I use it all the time.
On the new iPhone, where the old one had the silence button.
You can see on Patreon there.
Yeah, where the silence button was on the left-hand side of the phone, they've now got an action button, and you can choose what the action button does.
Literally anything.
Yeah, so...
Anything.
Lockie has chosen to bring up
ChatGPT. Because
Oh,
I use it
that's-
all the time.
Okay.
So, and then I was just like, for Amy and I,
And
today,
what do you use it for?
just for work or for like refining my
Editing or-
scripts, like, because I, like, or, you know, even for the marathon runs, I'm like, remind me what my budget is again, because I've put it all in there and it'll come back and go, here's your budget after I've looked at other things, or help me make a draft this email to a sponsor or whatever. I use it for everything. It's just like a good assistant, and it saves so much time, and then I'll refine things. But now that I have it as an action button, not that it's a big deal, but it's freaking cool. Like, these 1%ers Apple are just winning the game with. What do you reckon?
I don't know. Like I don't.
All
I
right.
don't know if I need the action button in my life. I
Need a bit of action in your life, or
action button.
yours has Snake on it.
I've got
It's
this
so
old one. What is it?
You got a 13.
That's fine. It does me well. It's got a good enough camera.
Well, that's what I updated from.
But the new camera's fine. It's not like groundbreaking where I need it right now.
It's pretty sick. Like, it's 5 times optical zoom. Pretty incredible. But I don't need to sell you on that because
Well,
Well,
you owe me one.
I do owe you one, so I'm not going to push that at the moment. Let's just wait on that.
We'll buy the lens first.
Yeah, let's buy the lens first. But let's do some questions. We were thinking, I haven't named this segment, but I just wanted to do some questions because I wanted to find out a little bit more about my wife, and I'm sure you guys do too. And I hope you want to find out a little bit more about me. This is before we go into Amy's Reddit. Maybe you guys can help us think of a little segment. We had our pet peeves, and obviously then we got to a point where Amy couldn't find anything that I pissed her off about, so we had to move on to a new segment. The Reddit segment's still going strong, but I like the game, so we had the one a while back is like what you can say in the bedroom and in the gym. Mm-hmm. That was a real hoot.
Lots of things there.
What was one off the top of your head?
Go deeper.
Oh, go deeper.
What about yours? Can you remember any?
Push harder.
What else is there? There's so many. What?
No, I'm not going to
Not
say it.
appropriate?
No, definitely not appropriate. But anyway, squeeze tighter.
Yeah, squeeze
Let's
the
go to the
buns.
next one. Squeeze the buns. Can you pull that off? All right. Anyway, my first question for Amy. What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done in front of me?
Oh, like what's the most embarrassing thing you've done in front of me?
Yes. Yeah, sorry.
What's the most embarrassing thing
I've
you've
done
ever
in
done
front of you.
in front of me? No, what you've done in front of me.
Mm.
I don't think my brain's working.
No, I
Wait, what's the
feel like
question?
the
Are you asking me what the embarrassing thing, or is
I
it?
feel like the moment's happening right now. Alright, so my question is, for you, what's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done in front of me? From your point of view, what was something that you did that you were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that?
Oh, probably like the first time I farted in front of you.
That was so fucking
I just
awkward.
like let it rip, and I was like, well, I don't want to be the type of person who's gonna like have to hold in my farts for this whole relationship. So he's gonna love me. He's gonna love the farts too.
And let's just say I was blown away by the experience.
Literally.
So this was like 2000. So we were dating and we were at the Arias. It was like just before the Arias, or was it after the Arias?
You thought you'd jacked up with some cute little pop star.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I got myself, girls
Wrong.
don't fart, all of that
Wrong.
sort of stuff. I think it was before the Arias.
No, it
Was
was
it after?
after because we were a bit hungover, and that's why I had to fart.
Oh, fucking hell. Like, and I'm just sitting there. I hadn't even farted in front of Amy. And you just hear this. And I was like, looking around very confused for one, because I was like, that sounds like something I could have done. And
Your
then
face was priceless.
And then I turned and I was like, Emma, what's going on here? And she's like, Amy just farted, and they were in hysterics. And I was like, that is one of the most revolting experiences I've been through today in my 23 years at that time.
I guess that would be embarrassing to some people, but I wasn't really.
No, I know, which was even more traumatizing for me. The fact that you weren't like, oops, sorry. Like, you were just like... fucking hell. Right.
To be fair, you've had your fair share of letting them rip.
Yeah, but
So,
that's like...
If it's okay for you, it's
You
okay
set
for
the
me.
benchmark. I've been chasing it for 10 years. Alright, next.
Okay.
You ask me one. Get
Alright.
me one.
Have you ever faked being asleep to avoid something I asked?
I don't think I need to fake it because I fall asleep
Yeah.
like that, but maybe sometimes I'm just like actually like Amy will wake me up like 2 nights in a row. When did you come back from your dinner with the girls? A couple of nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been asleep. I have my eye mask on, and Amy's rolled in and woke like poked and prod, and I was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I've just come down to chat." I was like, "Well, I've been asleep for 40 minutes, so chatting's not really something I feel like doing right now." And that's when I'm like, got to pretend to sort of doze off to actually be able to doze off again. But there's nothing that comes to mind where I'm like, I don't want to answer that at all, so I'm going to fake it. Because I'm either legitimately asleep or... Yeah. So that was... No. Alright. If you could change one of my habits, what would it be? I feel like I should be looking at the camera for
Back
these.
to pet peeves.
Yeah. Ooh.
It would be just leaving random shit around the house. Like, this has been your pet peeve for like
What? What have I
10
done?
years running. Well, you just take off your shirt and you'll be like, no, you obviously think, oh, it's not that dirty. I'll just leave it here. And you just take off your hat and you'll just leave it wherever. And it's so annoying, like, because I don't know if it's clean or dirty. And I'm just, there's like 20 hats around the house. And man, they can shirts. And I'm smelling the armpits, being like, oh,
You sound
it's
pissed
been
off.
worn, but it's not dirty.
Exactly, because...
Or hang it up, or
if
fold
I...
it.
The only time I... This is probably making people think I'm gross. The only time I'll feel the need to wash a shirt, like, after one use is if I've trained in it and sweated in it. But if I've just worn it for, like, 3 hours in the afternoon, I'm throwing that bad boy over the back of the chair and I'm going to wear that tomorrow.
Oh.
That is hygiene like no tomorrow.
Yeah, but fold it and put it where you got it from. Okay?
Well, technically I don't really have
It's
a cupboard
literally,
at the moment.
it'll be the most random spots. It's not even just...
Like what, on top of a fucking tree or something?
Yeah. Oh, there's no trees in the house, Nookie. But
Like
maybe
a
the
vase.
plant. Yeah. Just literally wherever you take it off, you
Well,
just put
look,
it
you
there.
sound like you need to go talk about that to someone. Like
I'm
went
talking
from-
about it
yeah,
to you.
Yeah.
So you stop doing it.
That went fucking full on there. Alright, let's go to the next question. Oh, what's the weirdest thought you've ever had about us? Hold on, no, it's your turn to ask me.
Oh, okay.
Is it? Yeah, because you were just
Yeah.
on my habit then.
Well, so that was
Yeah,
mine.
yeah, sorry.
What's the weirdest thought you've ever had about us as a couple?
The weirdest thought I've ever had about us as a couple. I wish you got this question. Wow, yeah. The weirdest thought I've ever had about us as a couple. Fuck.
That's a weird question.
Yeah, it is a weird question. I'm not. Really, I don't know whether it's weird. I go through phases in with the podcast where I'm like, how cool would it be to tour the podcast? I get excited about that,
That would be fun.
but then it's also weird. No, it's not really weird.
No, I don't think that's weird.
I don't really
That's-
think there's any weird thoughts I've had about. Actually, maybe because like we're polar opposites in career and also like sleep cycles. That's like I'm just like how did that work?
Well, opposites attract.
Yeah, like a magnet. Maybe that's it. All right, I got one for
Boring.
you. That was a shit question. Thanks, ChatGPT. Oh, what's a lie you told me that I still don't know about? This is tough. This could get controversial here.
A lie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we're being really boring, but what's a lie?
Have you got a white lie, a spicy whitey? Maybe you could talk about that time where George had to FaceTime me and you're in LA.
Should I?
Yeah.
Do you think people will think of me differently?
Nah.
They might.
It's all put down to experience.
Okay, well, it's okay because I was in LA and
That makes it so much better. Like it's all good.
so weed is illegal in LA, right? And
No, is it legal or illegal?
Sorry, it's legal.
Yeah, it's legal.
And
not
it
illegal.
had just been passed that it was legal. So George and I went for a riding trip, and he was like, "Should we like get some gummies?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I'm scared. I'm not really like into that." And he's like, "You'll be fine. Just have a little bit, and you probably like write a great song."
The guidance of George, the chaperone.
Big brothers, right? Anyway, we went to this shop and it was crazy. I was blown away. It was like Vodafone and they had iPads and you could pick what type of weed you wanted. And anyway, I was like, oh, okay, I'll go with brownie because at least that's delicious and we can watch a funny movie and go to sleep. Get a good night's sleep because we'd just flown in. And yeah, so I picked that. I think George grabbed some gummies. And then we went back and we were watching some comedy person, Dave Chappelle. And George was like, just have half because I don't want, you don't do
this.
weed,
I don't want you to die.
Yeah, I would just go easy. And so I had half of it. And then we started to watch the comedy and I was like, I just wasn't laughing. And George was like, how are you feeling? And I was like, I have like this really bad feeling. And George was like, oh, uh-oh. I was like, what? And he's like, I think you've just had a bit too much. And I was like, what? And he's like, you'll be fine. You're just going to feel anxious and a bit...
You're just going to feel anxious.
Yeah.
Nothing, no biggie.
No biggie. And I was like, oh my gosh, I should never have done this. Lockie's going to be so mad at me. I don't know why I had that thought. Probably like previous, just trauma from shitty ex-boyfriends.
Yeah.
And anything I did, I'd be in trouble. And
it's so wild to me, that.
Yeah, it's wild to me too. Like being the person I am today. But anyway, I went down this awful rabbit hole and I just can't touch weed again because it was just next level. Like, it was a wild ride and I didn't even know weed could do that. I thought it was just like you just chill out. But I fully greened out. I was in this weird Airbnb and I thought that I was going to be like actually a vegetable. Like, I thought that I was going to have to be resuscitated. I told George to call the ambulance, which is apparently a classic symptom of someone who's doing weed for the first time. And I was shaking, I was twitching, I was cold, and then George would like put the doona over me and I'd throw it off, and I was just like sweating and like couldn't recognize where I was. And then anyway, I had to call Lockie because I was worried that he was going to break up with me. And Lockie was laughing, and then after I saw that Lockie was okay, I was like kind of chilled out a bit, but I was still like fucked. So yeah. George was like, I'm just going to put you to bed and I'm going to put the laptop on and you can watch drone footage. And that really helped, and I just kind of went to
drone footage, like the most high thing of all time.
And I just went to sleep, and then the next day I woke up and I had a writing session and I looked in the mirror and my eyes were all bloodshot and I was high. Then.
Still.
Yeah, and I went to the writing session and like, luckily I knew the person.
I think George was like...
And we wrote a great song where they were like laughing at me the whole time. And then we went back to the Airbnb that night and I was just like so wrecked and like I had been through something terrible. And George checked the back of the brownie because it was the other half and he just started pissing himself laughing. And I was like, what? And he's like, okay, so someone who doesn't do weed ever, like 5 milligrams would have been a lot for you. And guess how much you had last night? And I was like, how much? And he said 55 milligrams.
So 10x.
Like,
I think
that's more than Snoop Dogg would take, probably.
That's what George was like, it's more than I've ever taken in a single hit. I was like, far out.
Oh my god.
It was so good. Well...
So that's a dirty little secret for you couple goalers.
Yep, that'll be probably on the front page
kids.
of
yeah.
on the paper tomorrow.
Yeah, it was actually an awful experience. So I learnt my lesson there.
I think you should hit us with Reddit now. It was still one of the funniest experiences from my point of view as well. That, but what do we got for Reddit this week?
Okay, Reddit.
Last week's Reddit was still playing on my mind. But what do we got this week? That's a long one.
Okay. This one, it says...
I love how Reddit people, because I don't use Reddit, write the age in like M or F for male or female, like 26 male.
Yeah.
Rather than... Yeah, anyway. I think it's funny.
Yeah, so Reddit is all pretty much anonymous. Well, it is anonymous. And so people like to give detail about who they are, to give context. So... Yeah. It says, my boyfriend, and then brackets 26M, so male 26, is in a mood because I, 21F, had a pizza after a night out. Do you see where he's coming from? For context, I'm not a big girl, I'm just normal weight. Not that that would matter. I swim about 4 times a week, but I'm a bit of a foodie. I have a food Instagram account and I like to go out for food. And I probably go out for lunch or dinner weekly. I don't count calories and I'm not strict. Like, she doesn't need to justify herself here.
Yeah, I know.
Last night, my boyfriend and I went out with his friend. I came home early since we had an early train to catch in the morning. I ate pizza on my way home and I was a bit drunk and thought I would soak up some alcohol and I'd feel better in the morning. I don't go out drinking really regularly, by the way, so this isn't something that happens every week, but I normally will get a pizza after a night out. I ate probably just over half the pizza and I shared some with a girl I met on the street. My boyfriend got in about an hour and a half after me, and then this morning he saw the pizza box.
Maybe.
He was in a mood about it all morning, telling me he tries hard to be attractive for me, and it seems like I don't care at all. He goes to the gym most days and similar frequency to show how I swim. Most days, a similar frequency to how often I swim, and we also sometimes play badminton together. He isn't ripped or anything, he's a normal weight. I said, do you find me unattractive how I am? And he said, no, he finds me attractive. We have very regular sex and he wants me to think about the long term. I said I would understand if he wasn't happy with how I look. I feel like I do keep myself in shape by swimming, but I don't want to be so obsessive about what I eat. He's very conscious about what he eats. That's it, really. Am I missing something, or should he get off my back? Oh my god.
You start. As a body positivity queen...
This is like
that's
a flag. I feel like this guy is controlling what you eat. What the hell? I feel like he's kind of beating down your confidence, and I think that you need to tell him you can eat whatever the fuck you want, whenever you want.
Yeah, if he's pissed off that you didn't leave him any pizza, tell him to go buy his own pizza.
Well, that's a different story. I might be angry if you didn't share your pizza with me.
That's what I would be pissed at, because pizza the next day is so delicious. Like, heated up, I want pizza for dinner.
Yum.
If there's a pizza at this night market, I'm getting one. I think that is...
pathetic.
Yeah. Like, if you're doing this, and you get up your wife or partner for eating food, like...
I don't know. It's
one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. There's no point getting up anyone. No one likes being told what to do. Never.
Or
ever.
being guilted or shamed for what they're eating.
Yeah.
It's none of your business.
Obviously, you can have conversations around like that, but like getting up someone for having a pizza.
Yeah, I could understand if they were trying to save money and she was eating out all the time, and like that would be annoying. But like trying to control what she eats because you're worried about her weight, like what? No, that's not
if for example you see them eating more than they normally do, and you might be worried about like are they stressed or whatever, because I stress eat like crazy, so things like that. But then you would have a completely different conversation. But if pizza or a bloody kebab, like last night. Coming home from the Sunshine Coast, I went to Pound Town on McDonald's, and I did not like it. Amy's sitting in the back seat, right?
Also going to Pound Town.
Yeah, also going to Pound Town. I'm pound towning. Amy's back seat pound towning, and so I've got a thick shake, which was terrible. And then I got some chips. I got 20 nuggets, and a double chicken burger.
And I got a chicken burger, and I had a couple of those nuggies.
And I think we can all agree on the fact that when you eat McDonald's, it doesn't go down well. Like, Amy's trying to, when I'm eating my chips, she's like, "Are you ready for your burger yet?" I'm like, "Just throat." Like, this is obviously not the greatest ingredients known to man. And ripping through my burger, I'm halfway through my burger. She's like, "You ready for your nuggets yet? They're all sauced up. You're good to go." And I'm just like, I don't care how much sauce you put in the nuggets. Like, this chicken burger is stuck in my esophagus right now.
Can you imagine if I was, like, controlling what you ate? And I was like...
Well, you kind of are, because you make me so much good food.
Yeah, but I'm not saying, oh, don't eat that. Or
yeah,
this.
You're saying, come on, you don't eat enough.
Anyway, I think if anyone in a relationship is trolling or shaming you for anything, it's a huge red flag. You need to have a conversation
Straight
about
up.
it, nip it in the butt, and
Roll on.
seriously consider
Roll
that
on.
relationship.
100%. All right. Well, speaking of that, I'm gonna go get out of these ridiculous clothes. I don't want to be walking
All that talk of
around,
McDonald's made me hungry.
having everyone know that thanks for being a dickhead it was signed. So I'm gonna change it. We're gonna go to the night markets, but we will see you guys next week. As always, hooroo.